Let's go. Puerto Rican on the block, call the J. Go. Just cheeky on the clock like it's payroll. Ruler clip, look like halo. Little Puerto Rican on the block, call the J. Lo.
What's good? What's good? That's Yana Shawty, TYSF, Queen of the Skull, and you already know what it is. We're here with Qods podcast, and I'm here with the one and only entrepreneur. Okay, that guy, that go-getter. You will catch him at many pop-ups and at many stores. Rome, owner of Off That Fire Sauce. Okay, whoop, 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 whoop. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. I can't complain.
Good.
I'm all right.
Good. I'm glad we made it. You made it in here today. Yeah. I know I was like really booked the last year, but I was like, gotta get him in here. And now that I finally, you actually let me have a bottle of your sauce at a pop-up. I went to my mama's house. I left it at my mama's house, and that shit was gone the very next day. So my sister cooked up something and used it, and I didn't get to taste it. But I got to taste it at Los Bayuncos, at Speakeasies. They're pupusa. They make pupusas and putacos, and they collabed with you or
we got a little thing going on. Second time around, I made some the Hella Owns smoked habanero sauce I make for them. They use it and then they sell it too, so it works out.
That's dope.
Yeah, right on.
That's hella dope. Let's backtrack a little bit and just talk like where this started, cause ain't too many niggas out here just doing hot sauce or just doing any like type of condiments out here to put in your food for the community. Like most people sell shirts or do something like kind of, more like clothing, urban wear. This is super different and this is super dope.
Yeah.
How did this come about?
And to be honest with you, it was a wild random thought.
For real?
I mean, I'm like seriously, I was doing something else and I'm like, damn, like, shit. Make a hot sauce, right? Like literally. And
right.
People like, damn, they scratching like, I didn't go to culinary school, none of that.
Gotcha.
No, I'm just I thought about it, and I came home because I do cook, and I whooped up a little something, and it was good, but it was way too hot. It was hot. It was like unenjoyable hot.
Gotcha.
And it was overpowered with garlic, right? And so I let people try. I like to get people's opinions.
Right.
Look them in the eye and see their body expressions, like, oh, they like it or not. Let some chefs try. Like, bro, this is way too hot, bro. You can't.
Right.
I can't. So what I did, long story short, I toned it down a little bit. Used some ingredients to kind of mellow out the garlic. And it should turn out to be it.
Got you. Who was like the first? Like, who were the first people that tried when you were first starting? Was it like family and friends?
It was some family, but as far as professionals, Touch of Soul, soul food restaurant, North Oakland, actually Emeryville, was the chef was the first one, and somebody else, and so they gave me their honest opinion, like, hey man, this is actually good, but you should do a little bit of this.
That's dope.
And so what I like to do, I like to listen to the opinion of professionals, right, and just take what they're giving me and also my own what I feel like I can do to make a good product. So that's how that came about. That's actually this one here.
That's the first one?
That was the first one. This was the original one. So everything kind of branched off. Originally, this was the first one, but the name was actually going to be Smack Sauce.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So I'm like, damn, what should I do? Smack Sauce Off That Fire. So it was Off That Fire. And it worked out pretty good. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people, they like this one the most.
Oh, really? People, that's the fan favorite?
They
that's
do.
dope.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to branch off into more flavors?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. To be honest with you, like I said, it was something that started off as just a random idea, and it's kind of fun. And it just kept growing and growing. So the whole reason why I made this one is because this was too hot, and a lot of people didn't like it at first. Mm-hmm. It's a little more mellow now, so I'm like, you know what? I gotta have something that people can enjoy too. Right. So this is kind of like reminds me of Crystal. Like a lot of people like myself, we grew up in a typical black family household. Crystal was the popular hot sauce. We put it on our greens, and your grandma, hooking up food. That's what we used. And so I'm like, I gotta make something similar to that, but way more flavor.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Not just anyone can make peppers and vinegar, right? But you got to add. You have to make it a little complex. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
So it worked out pretty good, man.
That's hecka dope. I see it says Oakland on it. Are you from Oakland?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
yes,
dope.
I am. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, bake it, bottle it, still live there.
Do you have like collaborative like factory, or this all you from home?
I'm a one man shop.
That's hella crazy,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
'Cause it's pretty
it's
consistent. I've seen you in a couple stores.
Yes.
How did you get your? Let's talk about that. Like, how was it for you? Let's talk about the beginning of trying to push your, besides pop ups, trying to push your saws to stores. How was that experience, and how did you accomplish getting it in stores? Because you're in San Leandro, you're in Oakland.
Yes.
You out here.
Honestly, social media helped. To be honest with you,
Oh, dope.
Instagram was. I mean that helped a lot. The first stores to put me on was actually Booker's in East Oakland. It was the first store, and Guadalajara, the Carniceria in San Leandro, and then you have Mi Rancho in San Leandro. Those are the first. I want to say the first 3 stores to put me on. As far as putting them in, I'm a natural salesperson, man. I just come in and tell them what I have,
Right.
and gave it a shot, and it worked. But the liquor stores, honestly, that's where I started. Liquor stores, like I said, Booker's, that's where it started. Got in there, and keeping track of everything I do and advertising everything I do. As you can see, I'm always whoop that phone out. Whoop, we're over here,
Right.
and that actually helps because people are always constantly watching what you do. They're watching, and important people are watching too. So that's how that came about. But the startups, the pop-ups, and shout out to Only Loud, because to be honest with you, that was really the first person to put me on with pop-ups.
Gotcha.
And that actually had a lot to do with helping. She had made the logo for me too.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So I didn't know nothing about pop-ups. I mean, I see them.
Right.
But it all ties in together. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? You use the pop-ups is more of I'm in a lot of stores. That's cool, but
You get like human interaction for real at pop ups.
that's what I'm getting to, because it's one thing to have a brand and you are actually in stores, you're marketing and this and that, and another thing to actually be in the public and actually meeting people in the community. Oh yeah, I got this from the store. I got this from 24 Bart Street or over Save More on 3rd Street, blah blah blah, whatever.
Right.
And this is the actual person. And I think that it's good to have these pop-ups because you're connecting with other vendors.
Right.
You're connecting with community, right? And it works out. But the stores, believe it, to be honest with you, it's easy. It's easy. Hey, it's
That's
not
so
hard.
crazy to hear, because like you would think it's like more easier to be invited to pop ups and harder to get in stores. But you kind of, what most people wish to do, you kind of went off bat and did it. Like you just were confident and did it.
It definitely got to be confident. I mean,
Have you done pop ups in Oakland?
Yeah, but it's not. There haven't been as many, to be honest with you. There's been way more pop-ups over here,
Right.
and how it's organized. Okay, like you have like say a small community organization, right?
Right.
Yeah, we do pop-ups a little here and there. But when it comes to like say like you got the lake, you have the Black Joy Parade, all these different big events. The city tries to really regulate a lot, right? A lot. And I'm like, damn, I've been invited to more pop-ups over here than where I live at.
That's
I mean, but it's cool. It's cool.
Right.
It's cool. And it's like, it's a lot of support. It's a lot of support on this side. Now, as far as pop-ups in the town, like I said, there's people that vend every day. Like they got the lake. They're out there
Right. They
every.
just post up.
It's not. It's honestly, I don't even want to call it a pop because it's always there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So something like I said, the Only Loud events. These are things that come up, and I notice some of them that they do it a lot. They have a lot of events, and so I've noticed we've done a lot of the same events. You know, you on the mic. You know what I mean? So these pop-ups are good because you meet people. You know, I'm like the guy that comes across the bridge. You know, that's being a vendor. But it all works out. But as far as if I can give advice to anybody that wants to get it, it's really not that hard. You just have to have confidence, know how to talk to people,
Right.
and have some product that's actually good.
Right.
You know, and that's really what it's about.
Do you love it? Like, do you love what you do?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I do. It's cool.
He's like, I ain't gonna lie, I do.
It's cool. It's love. But there's some things I don't like. You know,
I need the tea. What you mean?
I mean, what I'm saying is like it's cool, but it's like a beautiful curse because you get to the point where it's overwhelming, and it becomes a little stressful,
Right.
because it's like I gotta supply this store, I gotta supply this restaurant, I gotta do this and that. And it's like you can't mess your name up, right?
Right.
So you don't ever want to put yourself in a position where you cannot go through with it.
Right.
Meaning follow through what you're doing. Like say even something like this. Like, I'm showing up on time.
Right.
I'm not gonna be 10 minutes late, right? All this you have to follow through. So my only thing I would say that I wouldn't say a downfall, but it's just there is stress involved in it,
Right.
and that's just real. If
Do you
anybody
feel like it's because you're doing it all yourself right now? And do you see yourself getting more help?
Oh,
in the
for
future?
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's definitely coming.
Dope.
That's coming because it's at the point where you have different peaks. You have a peak where you're starting off your experimental phase, right? Your beginning phase, right? Even the labels have changed, so everything has to up. But it's a hard point where you're in between. You're in between starting off, and you're at the point where you're gonna need to get help, right? Because if you don't get help, you're gonna burn yourself out.
Right.
In this, you're not gonna move like that. Everyone has to get some. You're gonna have to employ people, and that's the next thing. I'm gonna have to hire people, because there's no way in hell that I can. It's not
Right.
and I'm good at what I do. I move, but even that's not even. You have to get help.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
You have people in mind? Like if family, friends, or you keep business and
to be
they're
honest with
separate?
you, I keep I keep business separate. But if you are capable of doing the job,
right.
I'll put you on.
Why not?
I'm an equal opportunity employee. I don't care if you're family, friends. You might even get better help from somebody that's a complete stranger.
I know.
That
Isn't
part.
that crazy?
That part. That's
I
a
know
whole. That's
the
a whole nother
supporters are
topic.
usually like
That's a
the
whole nother
strangers.
podcast right there.
Right.
But yeah.
How did your family feel about because this is super established. Well, to me, this is super established, and it's like a thing that's growing. I went to where we go, babe? Hot Licks. Hot Licks. I went to Hot Licks out of here, and I was like, y'all got off that fire? You got off the fire?
Yeah,
and he was like, what is that? And he's like, okay, I need to mention it to my boss. He started writing it down.
Wow.
And I was like, well, he in a couple stores, so y'all lacking if y'all don't got it, you know?
Yeah.
But how did your family feel about just the growth of what you're doing?
I would say half are kind of elated. They like it, and they're big about it. And the other half, I don't really hear anything. But that's always going to be that way,
Right.
It's never going to be 100% of anything. So
No, I feel it. My mama be so supportive, and then my granny from my dad's side be like, "You still do that little music thing?" I'm like,
it's
"I'm
like
a
that.
big ass deal out here. What the fuck you talking about?"
yeah, you are. Yeah.
I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Especially all I know,
But
the
it's-
paper.
Period.
That part.
EXP produce.
You know
But
what I mean?
yeah, it's just like that. But I feel like either way, motivation in some form and way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll start noticing when you up.
Oh, for sure. It's like that. Music,
Yeah.
music. You don't care if it's music.
It was
if
with
it's
anything.
hot sauce, sports, everybody,
Yeah.
it's a vision. You know what I'm talking about? Like you have a vision with your music, right? And they may not know, like you got a world-renowned producer that's producing your music, right? You got EXP linked up with Gold Toes, you got reputable people, and so you have to expect that. Everyone is not going to see vision, and so then it's like talking to a brick wall. You ain't gonna get
Right.
it until now I see it. Now I see it. It's a little too late now,
Right.
and it's gonna be that way.
I kind of want to talk about the chili oil. That's kind of a different step
Yeah, that's a
from.
new one. Yeah.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, it's brand
shit.
new. Yeah, it's new. Yeah.
What made you create a chili oil?
Man, because
My mom would go crazy.
I'm big on the soups. Yeah, you feel me? Hey, bro. Hey, them fuzz, the Vietnamese food. Like I'm really like into that, man. Like soups. Yeah, I'm a foodie. I eat a lot. Like I like to eat a lot. And so honestly, the inspiration for that was I got something for everybody. Okay, I got the hot stuff, which ain't even here. This is like something in the medium. This is like some little soul food sauce, crystal. This here
So like
is from my
Mexican.
carnite, you know what I mean?
It look Mexican. I ain't
I'm
gonna
just
lie.
saying, hey.
This looks like a little Mexican bitch.
Even, Nah, but up on some, but that one, I ain't gonna lie. Like, a lot of Mexican people I know, they love that one a lot. And even the carnicerias, they sell that one of those. They sell these two. These are like cousins.
That's all.
They're like cousins, like literally. In like Carnitas El Guero, that's their thing right there, right? So like I said, I gotta make something. I gotta make something for everybody. And they can't make something for everybody. What I'm saying is have something that different people that I know will like. 'Cause
Right.
everyone's not gonna like this. That might be too weak for them. This might be too complex for them. This might be too smoky. Like I'm not gonna put that on greens. I'm not gonna put that on macaroni and cheese. I put this on it, but I'll put that on some carnitas. I put this on some pupusas.
Right.
And put this in some pho.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? I'll put this in on some pizza or whatever. So again, it's about diversifying a product and having something that all kind of people can enjoy. You know what I'm talking about?
Do you plan on growing the flavors, or do you plan having set flavors that are going to be like your longevity flavors? Like I'm gonna have these set 10, and this is what it's gonna be, or do you plan like on adding more flavors?
I do. That's down the line. Right now, I can't overwhelm myself because
Right.
I'm a very micro organization, and so I can't. I don't want to overwhelm myself. It's already overwhelming enough with these 5. The
Right,
one
you're like
was
these
missing.
motherfuckers stressing me out already.
You know, that's my bad. Yeah, you know, but I do want to do some crazy stuff. I mean, because these here are these sell. The whole point is to make money off of it.
Right.
These sell. But there's stuff I know that's not gonna. I don't want to say it's not gonna sell like that, but like something extreme like Hot Ones. You know, the show the Hot Ones, they got all the ghost peppers.
Oh yeah,
Something like that. You know,
That's
I'm
crazy.
just,
What's up
something
with you
like,
in this hot shit? Talk a little bit. No, I want to know like your background. Where's your?
I just like to eat. I like hot food. Indian food.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you could, I ain't gonna lie. If you could fuck with Indian food, that's a different taste bud.
It's a different taste
Yeah.
bud. So, like I said, you know, in the household, my grandmother did a lot of the cooking, like the traditional soul food.
Right.
You know, but I've always had an open mind.
That's
You know,
good.
and I always like trying different things. You know, we wasn't eating soul food; we was eating Mexican food, right? Because you don't want that, you can go down the street to go to the taqueria and get something,
Right.
right? And so as I got older, as far as an adulthood, the older I got, the more I want to say the more open I was to trying different foods and trying different stuff. But to me, it's like an art, man. Like it was something that was an idea, and I think the reception of the people is what motivated me to keep going.
That's dope.
People, the reception, and that's what keeps me going.
Have you ever heard like something negative about the hot sauce that made you like question what you were doing, or did you always like me personally? I got thick ass skin, so I feel like almost 100% of the shit people say, I'd be like, "Fuck you, where you come from, whatever." But I have friends that it really hits them, and they're like, "Man, I'm gonna stop this shit. And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on?" Do you fall more on the side of like?
I'm more like you. I'm like you, man. I can care less.
I could care less. Yeah.
This
If
is
you
gonna
don't
sell-
eat, your
it's gonna
cousin
sell-
gonna eat
it's
it.
gonna sell
Like,
regardless.
Right.
It's the point because you're confident, right? It's confidence. And like I was, and I read what people say. A couple of days ago, I was looking on scroll. I was like, I bought your hot sauce, but it tastes like peanut. It tastes like peanut sauce or some shit. I'm like, well, hey, thanks for purchasing, right?
right.
Okay.
Thanks for purchasing.
You think that that's stopping me? Hell, no.
Right.
No, it's not because I'm getting the shit. People buying the shit.
Right.
It's obvious. They're buying it. So if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. Right? Now, as far as being discouraged, no. But then again, like say you have like say if it comes with certain family members, this and that, you're gonna listen.
Right.
But it's up to the person to decide, am I gonna let this energy stop me from doing what I'm gonna do?
Right.
Because they said they may love, they can still love you. But the energy, like you said, you're not gonna let that stop you. I'm not gonna let it stop me either, because you have a vision. You know exactly what the work you're putting in and where it's gonna take you. I know making this is gonna go somewhere.
Right.
So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little haters ain't stopping shit.
Gotcha.
It's not.
So right now you're super concentrated on this and this business, right? Like hot sauce. Or do you got other?
Yeah. There's I have my hands in other baskets and buckets, if you would say. I guess I'm a pretty personal person. I don't really discuss too much other things. But as
Gotcha.
far as the hot sauce, yeah, that's what I'm doing. this focusing on this when it comes to the hot sauce, like collaborations with more restaurants.
What are some restaurants or vendors that you have collaborated with besides Los
Shit.
Bayuncos?
City Chop was one
Oh,
of the first ones. That's
yeah.
yeah, man.
That sounds good as fuck.
Hella good, man. He's killing it right now. He's been killing him.
Oh, that one critic is out here in the Bay.
Yeah, the dude from Detroit.
Keith Lee.
Everybody been talking about him. Yeah, everybody been talking about him. Yeah, you know, that's cool, but you know, he has a million people. He's a big old
Right.
list.
He
You know
does.
what I'm saying?
Everybody was talking to everybody.
But restaurants like him, fucking Hyphy Ices is another one. As far as food collaborations with the drinking, they use this in Mitch a lot. Mango Nadas.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
That's hella dope. I don't even think
A
of that.
few restaurants, mostly a lot of Oakland restaurants. Like I said, Touch of Soul. It's
That's
a
hella dope.
lot. Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's
That's
a
hella
lot.
dope. So 5 years from now, where do you see Off That Fire?
Costco.
'Cause that's dope. I can see that.
Yeah,
That's dope.
Costco. Yeah, it's like when you're dealing with markets, right? There's different levels. There's different. You know, I got to see. I'm a liquor store person. Start from the liquor stores first, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get that buzz from these small places, even the guys that hang out in front of these stores, right? And then you get up to the moms and pop stores, and you get to your co-ops, like say like a Rainbow Grocery, right? And then after that, you have like your Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and it's the point where you have to have mass distribution when you get to that point. Because if you supply one store, you have to supply all. It's a chain, all of them. So that's the point where I'm at now. That's the reason why I'm not like Trader Joe's or like Whole Foods, because I would have to supply several different ones.
Right.
So that's why I'm just like at a standstill. I'm happy where I'm at right now, but in order to move up, you have to it's going to be like you have to come up with 2 pallets.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, I just got anxiety.
Yeah,
Because it's true. You're
very
right.
true.
The more you grow with it, the more product, the more it's getting requested, the more it's selling, the more. So it's like, oh, fuck. And the bigger budget you have to have because all this shit costs money.
Capital. Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so crazy when you think about
it definitely it's a lot that goes into it. Like you said, people have been asking me like, how you doing this? How you doing this? I'm like, it's not that hard, but the business side, there's legal things that you have to do, like, you know, something like your barcodes and you know, your labeling and all this and that, the FDA, all this stuff.
Is that all self-taught? You learning all that?
I had to teach myself everything when it comes to this. So this research helps because, like I said, if you want to go further, you have to do it the right way.
Right.
You have to do it the right way. And so I'm about educating myself and pushing myself to get to where I want to be.
That's super dope. Let's talk a little bit about. I really want to talk about this one. Like, what's in this one? Yeah, I don't know. It's just gravitating to me. It's like something because we gonna go eat Mexican food after.
Oh, for sure. So take that with. Hey. Yeah, it's him.
So when you make these sauces, I'm guessing you make them at home and you're test tasting them. When do you make the decision that this one I just tasted is the one that's gonna go in the bottle? Like, how do you make that decision?
Well, you're right. Like starting off, I had started off in the house, but after putting them in the stores, I'm using commercial kitchen. So
cool.
And that's that's by law. You have to do that when you're selling, just to cover my ass. And then you don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff where you live anyway.
Right.
But to answer your question, I have to taste it. And if it's not right, then I have to improve it because I'm constantly. And this, I ain't gonna lie. Out of all, this is the hardest one for consistency. Consistency, because you got serrano peppers. Everything has to be green, right? Serrano peppers, and what I learned, like I kind of studied like how they make the molcajete type of sauces, right? And everything in the green sauce. And having the heat.
Right.
So it can be green, but is it hot enough? No, it's not hot. So I got to add more. I got to add the green Thai chili peppers to add more heat.
Right.
To balance it out. But this one here, honestly, a lot of people like this. A lot of people like this sauce. And I'm glad that you asked about it because, believe it or not, I mean, it's probably actually one of the best-selling ones, to be honest with you.
Right. He said these ones cousins. These sell really well.
Yeah, and they do. This is like the reason why I say they're cousins is because they usually go hand in hand. If you go to stores, they're sold next to each other because they're different, but you can put them on the same food.
Right. They look like the light skin and dark skin.
Light skin, dark skin, cousins. Yeah, But it's cool. It's not too hot. It's not too hot. But like I said, I'll be honest with you. This one here is the hardest to keep the consistency of heat.
Right.
You know
What I
mean?
like about your brand is that it's different. Because when you think, or does Tapatio have different type of flavors? They only have like 2, no? Just regular Tapatio. They only have like 3 or 4. And it took a while.
Cholula has like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like how you're like expanding your brand and not just being so closed off. Because I mean, yeah, everybody wants to make a product and they want it to sell, which is how I see Tapatio did it. You know what I mean? They just focused and pushed that one flavor. But you're being like super considerate of like people and humans. You're like, bro, if this is too, because I don't eat Tapatio. And it's like, if it's too hot or if it's something that, the taste buds ain't liking, like, then you're not going to eat hot sauce. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a fuck situation.
Yeah,
So it's really considerate of you that you actually take your time to try to, see something for each different type of person to like.
Yes.
And I think that's just important because that also goes on expanding in different states, in different cities,
absolutely.
in different countries.
Regional, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's super dope. Have you thought like that? Like,
yeah, most definitely down the line. Right now, I'm just, right now I'm just focused on the Bay. You know what I mean?
I feel like the Bay love you.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. I didn't expect it, but especially from like complete strangers, like people you never even met. Like, who the hell is this? Like, but it works. It works, and I will definitely say, like, the Bay is backing what I'm doing, and I love everyone that supports, like seriously, because without that, I mean, where are you gonna?
Right.
You know,
What's a super highlight of your career so far within your business? Like something that you're like, okay, I'll always remember this.
shit, man. Damn. I think honestly, getting into the stores, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm a really humble dude, but I think the stores was show okay, you're doing something right.
Right.
You're doing something right. Because people constantly ask me, like I've talked to people. I talked to a lot of people, the pop-ups and different things. And there's people that say the Oakland Lake Merritt Farmers Market, and they're vendors too. And they're like, I've been doing this for like a long time. How did you already in stores already? So it's just how I think. But when I got that green light, it's like, okay, bam, this works. But when I got into like Rainbow Grocery, I'm like, okay, well, you're really doing something good, and they constantly keep selling. So it gives me hope and a little bit of motivation. Like, okay, you can keep going with it, but you have to be consistent.
Right.
But as far as like a highlight, honestly, I don't really.
Feel like all of it.
I don't believe in pre-celebrating because that's when just my way of thinking. It's like you're doing the end zone celebration because you scored 1 touchdown. Right. You still got 4 quarters to go. This is not a race. This is a marathon.
Right.
So
I was about to say amen.
what I mean? I'll celebrate when I don't gotta cook it no more.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I'm super proud of your brand. I think it's super dope.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
honestly,
you.
like I tried it with your chips, but it's just so. I just want to emphasize how it hits so different trying it with Los Bayuncos because he's also passionate about what he does. And it's, pupusas, like, we all think Salvadorian and we all think, like, a tortilla with cheese in it. But it's not that. It's like he's taking it to the next level and infusing it with other things. Yeah. And when I heard that he infused it with your sauce, it literally, like, opened my mind to all the things your sauces can do. Because I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what do you mean you mixed it with the jerk chicken and you put the jerk chicken on top of the pupusas? Like, I was
the
so...
triple whammy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, it was.
Yeah.
And just to know that this is all from, like, city vendors, city and Oakland vendors from a place that I'm from, like, that's super dope. And it's just super crazy. So I'm, like, super excited for your brand and just, like, I hope it prospers and just everything's going to do. And the cool thing about, I feel like you is, like, you're very business oriented and you're very open to keep learning. Yes. And I think that's something, like, even speaking for myself, we lack is, like, we want to I mean, I got great work ethic, and I won't ever stop. But I feel like I could learn a little more if I probably apply myself.
No,
And
you be going hard, man.
want to learn.
You be going hard.
I'm just a savage when it comes to like wanting to make money. But I bet you if I took in more knowledge, business wise, I'd probably be way even more ahead.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're doing the correct steps that
Yes,
you have to
yes,
do in
yeah,
order to
yeah.
make a successful brand.
I'm trying. We all have our. There's things. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't run it perfectly. I make it perfect. I make a perfect product. But like you said, as far as all your T's and I's crossed, I want to say sometimes I might have overstepped some steps. Right, like going directly to just going from point A to point D in some ways. But like you were saying, it's good to learn because there's so much information, and what it is about being connected with the right people to give you the information.
That too.
Right? That part. Having people that are not afraid to give you the information.
Yeah.
Because you got some fools, you got some people that know they sitting on game.
Yeah.
But they look at you as a threat.
I know.
And so they may not want to give you the game because you're a threat to what I'm doing.
Right.
And there's been people like this, people that make barbecue sauce, hot sauce. I'm like, hey man, I know what I'm making is going to sell and it's good.
Right.
It's not going to hurt me to give you a shout out for your product.
Right.
Right. But you got to keep going. Like you're doing, like I said, I watch what you do too. You're doing more than. But I guarantee
the more basic bitches are doing out here.
I'm just saying, I pay attention too. And so when you have the formula. Gotta just keep going like a horse. Horse had when the horses they put the blinds on where they can only want tunnel vision. They can't look this way. They can't look the way because it's a distraction and throw them off course. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta have them. You gotta have that tunnel vision for what you're doing. Unless it's somebody that's giving you valuable information. Like here, you can do this. Here, I got this new. I got a new mastering program for your songs or whatever. Or I got this Cubase here for the producer, blah, blah, plugins or something like that. Anything that's
something
positive.
useful, yeah.
It's something useful. And if you're not useful, you dead weight.
Right.
You have to go.
Right.
You have to go. You can't, and I'm telling this to anybody listening because people are always listening. There's people that have ideas, but they don't have the courage, not necessarily the courage, they don't have the motivation of where to start. You have to just do it. There is no time limit to any of this. There's no time limit. You have to just have an idea, have a vision, write it down on paper, and go for it. And it'll work out only if you are dedicated to keep continuing going.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I feel like as long as you put it out there and as long as it's not tarnishing your character and your brand in a crazy way, mistakes are okay. And just, correct it, make it better, and just keep going. But I feel like just holding on to an idea or a fucking song or a hot sauce or a fucking pupusa. Don't do that shit. Release that shit. Let them taste it. Let them feel it.
Release that pupusa. You know what I mean?
Before we wrap up, I want to ask do you have any events or pop-ups coming up where they can find you
to
or
be honest with you,
collaborations?
I'm taking a break on pop-ups until I get I'm getting a custom canopy done.
Nice.
So I'm taking a little break on that, but when I do come back, I'm coming back strong. I got my hands in some buckets, looking at Carnival.
Yeah.
Coming up, for they got the block party last year, that on 22nd and Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to Sway, Dying Breed. Who else? Black Joy Parade. Shout out to Hella Coastal and in the town. That's huge. That's a big one. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. Is those two big events, and there's a lot to prepare for that because I actually have to, come with some merchandise as well.
Gotcha. Do you have a random thought? Do you have a website?
Just the Instagram. That's
just
it.
The Instagram.
Just the Instagram.
So they could just hit you there and purchase there and some stores.
No, I don't sell directly anymore. But what I do, I'm really big on advertising the stores that are selling the product. I used to do that. I started off doing that. I started off selling, ordering here and there. But it's like the system stores now, so you don't need to deal with me directly unless it's in a pop up or something like that. But the Instagram is off that fire, _that_fire, and anything you need to know is there. Where it's at, what city it is, what's in, and I constantly keep people up to date where what stores they have it in so they can get it.
For sure. Well, shout out to you because that's another standout. Mm-hmm. Like you're over here advertising not only your sauce but like the stores that they're in. Mm-hmm. So and that takes stress off of you, so people are not blowing up your DMs. But congratulations to you. I'm really happy to see something established this well, you guys. This is legit. Stop playing with him. And So thank you so much for making the time and coming
Thank you,
through
thank you,
and
thank
letting me
you.
know a little bit more about your sauces.
Right on.
And this was Daciana Shardy, TYSF Queen Go here with Rome from Off That Fire.